George. Batting second, the left fielder, 00, Mackenzie Ogden. Batting third, the shortstop, number 5, Alyssa Castaneda. Batting fourth, the first baseman, number 12, Alana Mark. Batting fifth, the pitcher, number 20, Annabella Valadez. Batting sixth, the designated player, number 39, London
And
Lau.
ladies and gentlemen, welcome into the Barbara Williams Softball Complex for the final game of the HBCU Celebration Classic between your Alabama State Lady Hornets and the Southern Lady Jaguars. Southern University comes in 1-11 on the season, and here are the starting lineups for today's matchup for the Southern Jaguars.
And now, the starters for
At center field, number 3, Asia George. At left field, number 0, Mackenzie Ogden. At shortstop, number 5, Alyssa Castaneda. At first base, number 12, Elena Mark. Your pitcher, number 20, Annabelle Valdez. Your designated hitter, number 39, London Lau. Catcher, number 21, Sydney Wesley. At third base, number 99, Kay Miracle Tilford. At right field, finally, number 13, Blair Willis. Your flex hitter today at second base, number 7, Kiara Bowman. Your starting pitcher for the Southern Jaguars, number 20, Annabelle Valdez. And Todd Bradley brings in the 7-3 Alabama State Hornets. Here's your starting lineup for the Alabama State Hornets, who come in 7-3, as I said earlier. At left field, number 2, Madison Myers. At center field, number 1, Kendall Doremus. At right field, number 5, Alexia Denby. Your designated hitter in the fourth spot, number 27, Alex Preston. Catcher, number 4, Lauren Maurer. At shortstop, number 22, Kiana Parrish. At first baseman, number 12, Leah Richardson. In the eighth spot, third base, number 20, Elizabeth Williams. And rounding out the starting lineup, at second base, number 14, Jada Gardner. The starting pitcher for the Alabama State Lady Hornets is Haley Dyson. And she is number 6, Haley Dyson. And we're going to start it off here for the final game of the HBCU Celebration Classic at 3:31 today. Final game of a long tournament. Great crowd all 3 days for this HBCU Celebration Tournament. We've had schools like FAMU, Alabama A&M, Southern, who's playing right now, all that have driven between 3 and 6 hours to make it to this classic today. But we're going to round it out today with Alabama State and Southern. The first pitch at 3:32 p.m. is called ball. Temperature here in Montgomery is a warm February, 80 degrees. And the count by Dyson is 1-1. Up to bat for Southern, Asia George. And the 1-1 pitch is hit to the second baseman, and the throw to first is out. Out number 1 for the Alabama State Hornets.
Now batting, 00, Mackenzie Ogden.
And coming up for Southern, 00, Mackenzie Ogden. And the first pitch by by Dyson, is called ball. And the 1-0 called strike. And Dyson with the 2-1 pitch. Called ball, count now 2-1. And the 2-1 called strike by Dyson. 2-2 the count with no outs. And strike number 3 for Dyson. That'll make it 2 outs for the Lady Hornets. Top of the first inning. And the first pitch for Castaneda is called strike. 0-1 the count. Dyson with the 0-1 popped up to the second baseman, and that'll be 3 up, 3 down. As we head to the bottom of the first inning, and that is no runs, no hits, no errors, none left on base. We'll move to the bottom of the first inning right after this. No score between Southern and Alabama State. And back live here in Montgomery, we move to the bottom of the first inning. And up to bat, number 2 left fielder Madison Myers. And Valadez with the first pitch, called ball. And Valadez with the 1-0. And that'll be out number 1 for Alabama State. Coming up next in the second spot, Kendall Doremus. And Valdez with the first pitch is called ball. And the second one, 2-0 for Valdez. Doremus with 2 balls and no strikes, 1 out. And the 2-0 pitch is called strike. The 2-1 called ball. Valdez with a 3-1. Full count now for Doremus. And the full count pitch is called fair, and that'll move Doremus over to second base.
Now batting, number 5, Alexia Denby.
And coming up in the third spot, number 5, the right fielder, Alexia Denby. Valdez with the first pitch, and Denby hits it to the pitcher and thrown over to first base to Elena Mark, and that'll be 2 outs for Alabama State.
Now batting, number 27, Alex Preston.
And coming up in the fourth spot, the designated hitter, number 27, Alex Preston. 2 outs for Alabama State in the bottom of the first inning. And Valdez with the first pitch is called strike. Valdez comes in, the junior, with a 7.98 ERA. And Valdez with the 0-1, called ball. Valdez with a 1-1, called ball. Valdez with a 2-1, and Preston hits it over into left field. And that leaves no runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left on base. We head to the top of the second inning. No score between Southern and Alabama State. Right back after this. And back live in Montgomery at the Barbara Williams Softball Complex. This is the final game of the HBCU Celebration Classic. No score between Southern and Alabama State. And coming up for Southern, first pitch is called ball. 1 ball, no strikes. And Elena Mark up to bat, the first baseman, has a .370 batting average coming into this game on the season. 2 balls, no strikes for Mark. And the 2-0 is called ball. That'll make 3 balls, no strikes, no outs here in the top of the second. And the 3-0 is called ball. That will walk Mark over to first base.
Now batting, number 20, Annabella Valadez.
And coming up, the pitcher, number 20, Annabella Valdez. And Dyson with the first pitch is called strike. 0-1 to count, top of the second inning, no outs. And the 0-1, wild pitch right there. Lost a little control of it. But the count now 1-1. Right now the count 1-1. The 1-1 is bunted, but fouled back. Valdez has a count of 1-2, no outs, with a runner on second. And the 1-2 makes it now 2 balls, 2 strikes. Let's see if Dyson can sit Valdez back down. And the 2-2 is knocked to the left field. And that will advance the runner over to third. And Valdez trying to make her way over to second. And she does get to second base. And it looks like they're
number 39, London Miles.
They're going to send back, well, had a little confusion there. Valdez back over to second base. Runner in scoring position. And up to bat, number 39, London Lau. Count now 1-0. And Dyson with the 1-0 pitch, and it is knocked foul. Again, let's remind you of the dimensions of the Barbara Williams softball complex. 200 to right and left field and 225 out to center. And we've seen a couple of balls knocked out of the park over this classic. 1-1 the count. 2 on base for the Jaguars. And again called foul. Count now 1-2. One and two, and knockback foul again. Lowe is hanging in there. The senior with a .667 batting average on the season. Definitely the highest one on the roster so far. The 1-2 pitch. A little bit inside there. And that'll make a count of 2-2. And that will sit down low. Nice pitch by Dyson.
Now batting, number
1
21,
out for the
Sydney
Jaguars.
Wesley.
That still leaves a runner on second and a runner on third in scoring position. 1 out for the Jaguars. And the first pitch by Dyson is hit into left field. That will bring a runner in for Southern. Make it 1-0 here in the top of the second inning.
Now batting, number 99, Kira Miracle Tilford.
And up to bat for the Jaguars, Kira Miracle Tilford. Try saying that name 10 times fast and we'll see. Tilford up to bat. And the first pitch is bunted towards the third baseman and misses the throw on first. And that will bring another runner in for Southern, making it 2-0
Now batting, number 13, Blair
here in the top of the
Willis.
second. And got a little conference here at the pitcher's circle. Dyson's trying to get out of this situation here. Only 1 out on the board. Dyson with the first pitch. Tried to bunt. Southern is in the bottom of their lineup with number 13, Blair Willis. Coming up, they'll have 1, 2, and 3 in the lineup. And that is 1 strike for Willis. That will advance a runner over to second and still have a runner over at third. 2 strikes now. 0-2. And strike 3. That will send Willis back. Still leave 2 runners at second and third. But now Southern is at the top of their lineup, bringing up the center fielder, Asia George. 2 outs for the Jaguars. And the first pitch is called ball. And the next pitch is called strike. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs. Here in the top of the second. Ooh, close pitch by Dyson. 2-1 the count. The 2-1 is hit into left field and gets the ball back in play, but a runner will advance to second and called safe, and a runner from third comes home and is called safe. And that will make it 4-0 here in the top of the second.
Now batting, 0-0, Mackenzie Ogden.
And coming up for the Jaguars, 0-0, Mackenzie Ogden. First pitch, called strike. And the 0-1 pitch is knocked into right center. That'll bring a runner into home and put a runner at third in the top of the second inning. Makes the score 5-0. Again with a
now batting, number 5,
scoring run in
Castaneda.
on third. Runner in position on third. And we've got a little conference here on the Alabama State dugout. Dyson kind of struggling right now, but let's see if she can get some pitches in and on 2 outs. And the first pitch is called strike. Count now 0-1 in the top of the second with 2 outs. The 0-1 hits Castaneda, and that will put her at first.
Now batting, number 12, Alana Mark.
And coming up to bat now, the first baseman, Alana Mark. And the first pitch, just a little bit outside of the corner of the base. Count now 1-0. And the next pitch is fouled back. 1 strike for Dyson. Dyson needs 2 more to get herself out of this situation with 2 outs. One and one the count. Just a bit outside there. Count now 2-1. And the 2-1 pitch by Dyson is gonna put a score in position, and we'll sacrifice there as the runner over at first tried to get to second, bounced back to first, but got her out, and that put Dyson out of that inning. Now we're going to move to the top, the bottom of the second inning.
In the second inning for Southern, 6 runs on 4 hits.
With 6 runs, 4 hits,
no one left on
1
base.
error, 2 left on base. We move
The
to the
Vance Law
bottom
Firm and
of
Alabama
the
State
second
are
inning.
excited
Your
to announce
score,
their partnership.
Southern
Vance
6,
Law Firm is happy to support
Alabama
all
State
Alabama
0.
State student athletes through various sponsorship programs.
And welcome back to Montgomery, the final game of the HBCU Celebration Classic. Up to bat for the Lady Hornets, number 4, Lauren Maher. And the first pitch by Valdez is called ball. And the second pitch by Valdez is ball 2. And 2-1 the count for Maher. And Maher
Now batting, number 22,
will be out at
Kiana
first.
Harris.
And that will bring up Kiana Parrish for the Lady Hornets. 1 out. And the first pitch by Valdez is called strike. 0-1 the count for Parrish. And the 0-1 called ball. Valdez with the 1-1 is knocked foul. That'll be 2 strikes on Parrish. Tough start for the Hornets right now, but let's see if they can get themselves in position. Still only with 1 out. Here in the bottom of the second. Strike 3 on Parrish.
Now batting,
And that will
number
be
12,
2 outs
Leah Richardson.
for the Lady Hornets. And coming up next, the first baseman, number 12, Leah Richardson, the sophomore, .250 batting average on the season. And the first pitch is called ball.
Way to watch, kid, way to watch.
And the 1-0 just outside. Count now 2-0. And strike 1 on Richardson. Two on the count. And hit to the second baseman, throws over to first, and Richardson is safe at first.
Now batting, number 20, Elizabeth Williams.
And coming up to bat in the 8th spot, number 20, Elizabeth Williams. And the first pitch is fouled back. And the next pitch by Valdez called ball. Count now 1-1 with 2 outs. Valdez with the 1-1 and hits hits Williams, and that will
Now
put
batting, number 14,
her over to
Jada
first base
Gardner.
and bring Richardson over to second. And up to bat in the 9th spot, number 14, Jada Gardner. And got a little conference here at the pitcher's circle. And the first pitch is called strike. Two outs for the Hornets. And the next pitch is hit to the second baseman. Misses the toss at second, and that will advance the runner to score for Alabama State, making it 6-1.
Now batting, number 2, Madison Myers.
And that puts Alabama State back at the top of the lineup with Madison Myers, the senior, .565 batting average on the season. And that will also keep a runner at first and second.
Pinch hitting for Alabama State, number 18, Kelsey Long.
And correction there. Number 18, Kelsey Long, is coming in as a pinch hitter. Two outs for the Hornets. Runner on first and second. And the first pitch, way high and outside. Make the count 1-0. Valdez with the 1-0. Low and inside. Count now 2-0. The 2-0 is hit out in the right field. Thought it was going to be a break there for the Hornets, but caught by the right fielder.
For the Hornets in the bottom of the second, 1 run on 2 hits with 1 error and 2 left on base.
And as we have 1 run,
For more
1 hit,
information on Alabama State
1
athletics,
error with 2
follow
left
us
on
Twitter
base.
at Bama
We'll
State
head
Sports
to the top
and
of the
like
3rd
us on
inning
Facebook.
with your score:
For more
Southern
information
6,
on Alabama State
Alabama
softball,
State
please
1.
follow us on Twitter at Bama State S.
And back here at the HBCU Celebration Classic, the final game of these matchups here in Montgomery. New pitcher for the Lady Hornets, number 15, Olivia Brown.
Leading off the 3rd inning for Southern, number 12, Alana Mark.
And coming up to bat for the Jaguars, number 12, Elena Mark. And Brown, the southpaw, starts off with a 1-0 pitch. And the 1-1. Called strike. And Brown with the 1-1. Hit out into the right field, but called foul. 2 strikes now on Mark. Brown with the 1-2 is hit now to the left side for foul. Brown with the 1-2. Just a little bit high there. Make the count now, 2-2. Top of the 3rd inning. No outs. Count 2-2. And the 2-2 pitch is hit to the second baseman. Thrown over to first. And that'll be out number 1 for the Lady Jags.
Now batting, number 20, Annabella Valdez.
And up next for the Lady Jags, the pitcher, Annabella Valdez. And Valdez hit into center field to the wall and makes her way over to second base.
Now batting, number 39, London Lau.
And coming up next, number 39, the designated hitter, London Lau.
Pinch hitting for Southern, number 19, Jacelyn Frazier.
And now they're going to bring in the pinch hitter, Jacelyn Frazier. And the first pitch by Brown is hit to center field, and that'll be out number 2 for the Jags.
Now batting, number 21, Sydney Wesley.
And coming up in the 7th spot, number 21, Sydney Wesley. And the first pitch, called strike. And the 0-1 is fouled back for strike 2. Two strikes now. And the 0-2. A little high there. Make the count now, 1-2. The 1-2 pitch in the dirt. Brown with the 1-2. A little high. Make the count now, 2-2. And the 2-2 pitch hit to left field, and that'll be out number 3 for the Jaguars. And with no runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left on base, we move to the bottom of the 3rd inning with Southern still with the lead, 6-1 over Alabama State.
Alabama State Athletics are
And welcome back to Montgomery. Up to bat in the 2nd spot, Kendall Doremus. Bottom of the 3rd inning as the Hornets now are up to bat. And the first pitch is called ball. The 1-0. Little outside of the corner of the home plate base. Make the count now, 2-0. And Valdez with the 2-0 is called strike. Bottom of the 3rd inning, Southern still holding on to a 6-1 lead. The 2-1 pitch is hit to the 3rd baseman and thrown to first, overthrown to first. That'll put Doremus at 2nd. And good start by Doremus as she came up to bat again. Makes it to 2nd base for the double. Up to bat now, the right fielder, number 5, Alexia Denby. Comes in with a .455 batting average. And the first pitch is called strike. Thrown right there to the corner of the bag, of the base. The 0-1 is popped up and caught by the 3rd baseman for Southern, Kiara Miracle Tilford.
Now batting, number 27, Preston.
And coming up to bat, the designated hitter, number 27, Alex Preston. One and 0 the count. And the 1-0 pitch is called ball. 2 balls, no strikes, 1 out for the Lady Hornets. Three and 0 now the count. 6-1 Southern lead here in the bottom of the third. The 3-0 is called strike. Thrown right there to the corner of the base. The 3-1 hit to the shortstop and was going to throw it over to the first baseman, but thought better of it. And that'll put Preston on first. And up next for the Lady Hornets, number 9, Jordan Capel. Capel will come over as the pinch runner. And coming up to bat, number 4, Lauren Maher. And the first pitch by Valdez is hit to the shortstop again. She throws it over to second and over to first. Out at second and safe at first for Maher, as she looks a little bit shaken up there on the play. And that'll be 2 outs for Alabama State. And up to bat for the Hornets, number 22, shortstop, Kiana Parrish. Two outs for Alabama State. First pitch by Valdez is fouled back. Valdez with the 0-1, just a bit outside, and Maher steals second, goes over to third, and is called out at third. That'll be 3 outs for the Hornets. And with 1 run, 2 hits, 1 error. And with 1 run on 2 hits, with 1 error, none left on base. We'll move to the top of the 4th inning with your score Southern 6, Alabama State 1. Excuse me, Alabama State 2 and Southern 6. We'll be right back after this. And welcome back to the HBCU Celebration Classic final game
Leading off the fourth inning for Southern, number 99.
of the Classic here this weekend. Coming in, new catcher, number 34, Brooke Ramsey. And up to bat for the Jaguars, number 99, Kiera Miracle Tilford. And the first pitch is hit to center field, and that will put Tilford on first.
Now batting, number 13, Blair Willis.
And the first pitch for Blair Willis is called ball. And the next pitch is called foul. Count now 1-1 with no outs. And the 1-1 pitch is called strike. The 1-2 tried to get the runner over at first out, but now she remains at first. And the 2-2 pitch for Willis is called out as it's hit in the right field. And that'll make one out.
Now batting, number 3, Asia George.
And the Lady Jags are at the top of their lineup with the center fielder coming up, number 3, Asia George. And the first pitch by Brown is called strike. Count now 0-1. Brown with the 0-1. Again, popped up into right field, and that'll make 2 outs for the Hornets with the catch by Alexia Denby.
Now batting, 0-0, Mackenzie Ogden.
Two outs in the top of the 4th inning. Brown, a little bit outside there. Count 1-0. The 1-0 pitch is fouled back. Now 1 ball, 1 strike. Brown with the 1-1. And it's hit to the shortstop. Great play by Kiana Parrish. And with no runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on base for the Jaguars as we head to the bottom of the 4th inning with Southern still holding on to the lead, 6-2. And Joseph Moore back here in Montgomery. In the bottom of the 4th inning, Alabama State up to bat with number 22, Kiana Parrish, up to bat for the Hornets. And we have a little pause in action here. And Valdez with the first pitch as Parrish hits it to the third baseman and out at first. 1 out for Alabama State.
Now batting, number 12, Leah Richardson.
And now batting for the Hornets, number 12, Leah Richardson. And the first pitch is called ball 1. And the second pitch is ball 2. And the 2-0. Strike number 1. For Richardson. The 2-1. And it hit Richardson, and that will put her over at first base.
Now batting, number 20, Elizabeth Williams.
Up to bat in the 8th spot for the Lady Hornets, number 20, Elizabeth Williams. And the first pitch is called strike. The 0-1 is hit into right center, and that will score 1 run for the Hornets, make it 6-3 as Williams comes over to second.
Now batting, number 14, Jada Gardner.
And up to bat now, number 14, the second baseman, Jada Gardner. Bottom of the lineup for Alabama State. They'll have 1, 2, and 3 coming up next.
Now running for Alabama State, number 24, Zoe Disrow.
And Alabama State will bring in a pinch runner, Zoe Disrow. And we've got a new pitcher for Southern. Let's see, number 24, Kyra Williams, the freshman, coming in for the Lady Jags. And as we've got Kyra Williams warming up for the Lady Jags. And up to bat, number 14, Jada Gardner for the Hornets. one out for the Hornets. Williams throws a 1-0 pitch now. And the pitch is thrown over to hit to the third baseman, and hit to the third baseman, thrown over to first, and safe for Jada Gardner as it brings up number 2, Madison Myers.
Number 2, Madison Myers.
And Williams with the first pitch is called ball. And Gardner advances over to second. And that also leaves the pinch runner, Disrow, over at third base. And the 1-0 pitch is called ball. 2 balls, no strikes, 1 out. Southern with a 6-3 lead. Two-one the count now. Bottom of the 4th inning, as Alabama State is in scoring position with 2 runners on the bags. The 2-1. Now makes it 3 balls, 1 strike, as Disrow tried to steal home off third, but managed to get back to third base. The 3-1 is called strike. Full count, and hit into center and thrown back to the catcher, and that will leave runners on second and third for the RBI double. And the first pitch is called ball. And up to bat, Kendall DeRamus. And right outside the corner of the plate is called 2 balls and no strikes. Only 1 out for the Hornets. The 2-0. A little bit inside. The 3-1. And that will walk DeRamus. Bases are loaded here in the bottom of the 4th inning.
Now batting, number 5, Alexia Denby.
And up to bat now, Alexia Denby. we've got a little conference here at the circle. 6-4 your score. Southern with the lead, and Alabama State with bases loaded, only with one out. And now that'll bring in one runner for Alabama State, 2, and with bases loaded, that will put only a runner on third base in scoring position and will tie up the game here in Montgomery at 6. And the first pitch is called ball. 1 ball, no strikes in the bottom of the 5th inning. Two-0 the count. And popped up into the outfield. Dropped the ball. That will bring in a runner. And Alabama State will take the lead 7-6, almost a mid-collision with the right fielder and the center fielder. Very lucky that that didn't happen. Little mix match in the outfield. Could not hear if anyone called for the ball. And now Alabama State takes a 7-6 lead over the Southern Jaguars. And there was a little, and that will call the batter out. And I guess they're saying that she caught the ball in the outfield, but you figure if you drop it, the run still counts with a 7-6 lead. But the runner that was on second was called out.
Now batting, number 34, Brooke Ramsey.
And up to bat, Brooke Ramsey. And fouled back as Ramsey comes in as a pinch hitter, excuse me. And the 0-1 pitch is called ball. 1 ball, no strikes for the Hornets in the bottom of the 4th inning. With a 1-1 count with 2 outs. And with a pop fly to the second baseman for Southern, and that will be 5 runs, 4 hits, no errors, 1 left on base as we head to the top of the 5th inning with Alabama State taking the lead 7-6 over Southern. We'll take a timeout and be right back after this. And welcome back to Montgomery. New pitcher for Alabama State, number 17, Ashley Pye. Alabama State regains the lead as they take a 7-6 lead over Southern here in the top of the 5th inning. And the first pitch by Pye is called 1 ball, no strikes. Up to bat for Southern, Alyssa Castaneda. Pye with the 1-0. It is called strike. And the 1-1 pitch, high and outside, ball 2. Now with the 2-1 pitch, as we're a little animated up here in the press box here at the Barbara Williams Softball Complex. And we've had a few visitors up here in the press box here as some wasps have come up here and invaded our space. And right now, with the 3-2 pitch by Pye, and popped out into left center and caught by the center fielder, Kendall Doremus, and that'll be out number 1 for Southern.
Now batting, number 12, Alana Mark.
And hit and caught in left field by the left fielder, Madison Myers. And that will sit down Elena Mark.
Annabella Valdez.
And that'll make 2 outs for the Jaguars as they bring up the pitcher, Annabella Valdez. And with 2 outs, Valdez hits it to the shortstop, throws it over to first, and that'll be out number 3 with a big top of the 5th inning with no runs, no hits, no errors, 3 up, 3 down with no runners left on base. We will head to the bottom of the 5th inning with your score, Alabama State 7, Southern 6. And back live here at the Barbara Williams Softball Complex. Up to bat now for the Lady Hornets in the 6, 7, and 8 spot. Number 22, shortstop, Kiana Parrish. And the first pitch is called strike. And Parrish hits it to right field and caught by the right fielder, Blair Willis, for the out.
Number 12, Leah Richardson.
And up to bat in the 7th spot, Leah Richardson. And the first pitch is ball 1. And the 1-0 pitch is called strike. And correction, count now 0-2. The 0-2 is hit to the second baseman and thrown out at first. And that will be out number 2 for the Hornets.
Now batting, number 20, Elizabeth Williams.
And Elizabeth Williams up to bat for Alabama State. First pitch is called ball. And the 1-0 pitch is called ball. The 2-0 pitch is way high. Count now 3-0. And the 3-0 is fouled back. Now making the count 3-1. The 3-1 called strike. Full count for the Hornets. Full count. Hits Williams, and that will walk Williams over to first base.
Now batting, number 14, Jada Gardner.
And Alabama State at the bottom of the lineup. Jada Gardner up to bat. And the first pitch is called ball. One and one the count for Alabama State with 2 outs. Still holding on to the 7-6 lead in the bottom of the 5th inning. 2-1 the count. And the 2-1 is hit to the pitcher and thrown out at first. And with no runs, no hits, no errors, 1 left on base, we move to the top of the 6th inning with your score: Alabama 6-7, Southern 6. And welcome back to Montgomery. Up next for Southern, number 19, Jacelyn Frazier. And the first pitch by Pye is called ball. The 1-0 hits Frazier, and that will put her over to first.
Now batting, number 21, Sydney Wesley.
And now coming up, number 21, Sydney Wesley.
Running for Southern at first, number 1, Alani Otley.
And Southern's going to bring in a pinch runner, Alani Otley. And Sydney goes for the bunt, but fouls it back. 0-1 the count here in the top of the 6th. And the 0-1 pitch is hit out to the right field, and that will advance the pinch runner to second.
Now batting, number 99, Kira Miracle Tilford.
And coming in for Southern, number 99, Kiara Miracle Tilford. And Tilford tries to go for the bunt now, and that'll make it 1-0 the count. And the 1-0 is fouled back. Now the count now 1-1. And Pye with the 1-0 and is bunted to the third baseman and and called out at first. And that will advance the runners to third, second, and third for the sacrifice bunt.
For Southern is number 10, Cameron Atkins.
And pinch running, Cameron Atkins. And we've got a conference here at the pitcher's circle. And with one out, count 1-0. And we've got a little discussion here at the pitcher's circle with Pye. And the hit by number 10 for Southern, Cameron Atkins, will put a runner over to second. and will tie the game up for Southern, making it 7-7.
Asia George.
And now coming up at the top of the lineup for the Jaguars, number 3, center fielder, Asia George. 1, 2. Count 1-0. And the pitch now 1-1. And 1-2 the count now with 2 outs for the Jags. And the 1-2 is fouled back. Asia still hanging in there for the Jaguars, but with 2 outs, 1-2 the count. And hit over to the third baseman, called fair. And that will now put a runner at third. And Asia makes her way over to second for the double. Still 2 outs for the Jags.
Now batting, 0-0, Mackenzie Ogden.
And Mackenzie Ogden up to bat now in the second spot. And it looks like we're going to have some substitutions here. And it looks like it's going to be a pitching change as Greenlee will come in for Alabama State.
Now pitching for your Hornets, number 3, Bailey Greenlee.
And while she warms up, we'll take a timeout here. 7-7 your score in the top of the 6th inning. And with 2 outs, the senior Bailey Greenlee comes in for relief. And the first pitch to Ogden is called strike. And the next pitch by Greenlee is called ball. And Ogden hits it to center field, and that will bring in a runner, and Ogden goes over to second base as Southern takes the 8-7 lead in the top of the 6th inning.
Now batting, number 5, Alyssa Castaneda.
And coming up, the shortstop, Alyssa Castaneda. No balls and 1 strike. Now the count. And the 0-1 is now called ball 1. The 1-1 pitch is called strike. So now with 2 outs, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Let's see if Greenlee can close out the top of the 6th. And now the count. Still, count now 2-2. And count now still 2-2. The 2-2. A little bit high there for Greenlee. Full count, 3-2. And did she go? And that will walk the batter for Southern. That will walk Castaneda, which brings up Alana Mark. And that will now put bases loaded for the Jaguars with 2 outs. And the first pitch is fouled back, 0-1. Oh and 1 the count. And that will now be 2 strikes for Mark. The 0-2 popped up to the shortstop. And that will make 3 outs for Southern. With 2 runs, 3 hits, no errors, 3 left on base. As we move to the bottom of the 6th inning, Southern 8, Alabama State 7.
2, Madison Myers.
And we make it to the bottom of the 6th inning. With Southern still holding on to an 8-7 lead as we reach the top of the lineup with number 2, Madison Myers, up to bat. And the first pitch is called ball. And not sure what happened with the pitcher. And Myers now with a 1-0 count. And just a little bit outside there, make the count 2-0. The 2-0. Now 3-0. Southern still holding on to an 8-7 lead over ASU. The 3-0 will walk Myers.
Now batting for your Hornets, number 1, Kendall Doremus.
And coming up in the second spot of the lineup, number 1, Kendall Doremus. And the first pitch is called strike. The 0-1 called ball. The 1-1 is called called strike. And that will put Myers over to second with the steal. The 1-2 is hit to the pitcher, bobbles it, and that will put Doremus over to second and move Myers over to third with a scoring position for Alabama State.
Now batting for your Hornets, number 5, Alexia Denby.
No outs for Alabama State. And the first pitch is called ball. That will advance Doremus over to second. And they did call it a strike with the 0-1 count. Up to bat, number 5, Alexia Denby. The 0-1 is hit to the third baseman and out at first. And now we're going to have a situation where it will keep the runners at second and third. And a little mismatch there by the Jaguars. And coming up to bat, number 4, Alex Preston. That will keep Myers at third and Doremus at second. And the first pitch is called ball. The 1-0. Strike one. The 1-1. Strike two for Preston. Definitely need to get these runs in here. Scoring position on third. The 1-2. Ball two. The 2-2. Hit to the first baseman, which will be out number 1 for Alabama State, but still leave runners at second and third with 2 outs now. Bring up Lauren Maher. And we've got a steal coming from third, and safe at home is Myers, which will advance Doremus over to third in scoring position. Make it 8-8. And with 2 outs, Maher fouls it back, but strike one. Oh, big hit by Maher. But with 2 outs, she's out at first. And at the bottom of the 6th inning with 1 run, no hits, 1 errors, and 1 left on base, we move to the top of the 6th inning, all tied up at 8.
For your Hornets in the bottom of the 6th, 1 run,
And welcome back to Montgomery for the final inning of the HBCU Celebration Classic, as we have Southern up to bat now with pitcher Annabella Valdez. Batters 5, 6, and 7. And Valdez pops it up to the shortstop, and that'll be out number 1 for the Lady Jags.
Now batting, number 1, Ailani Otley.
And the first pitch to Otley is 1 ball. Second pitch, ball 2. And the 2-0 is swinging for strike 1. And the 2-1 is called strike 2. The 2-2. Strike 3, and that will sit down the batter for Southern, Otley.
Now batting, number 21, Sydney Wesley.
And that'll be 2 outs for Southern here in the top of the 7th. And the first pitch by Greenlee, a little high, ball 1. Greenlee with the 1-0. Strike 1. For Wesley. And the next pitch is fouled back, makes it strike 2 with 2 outs. And Greenlee with the 1-2 in the dirt, ball 2. And on the 2-2 pitch, fouled back, still 2 strikes. And strike 3 by Greenlee. And we will move for Southern. No runs, no hits, no errors, none left on base. We'll move to the bottom of the 7th inning, all tied up at 8. And welcome back to Montgomery. We are at the bottom of the 7th inning. 8-8 your score as Kiana Parrish comes up to bat here in the bottom of the 7th. And the first pitch is called ball. And on ball one, hit to the pitcher and out at first is Parrish. And now batting for Alabama State, number 12, Leah Richardson. And the first pitch is called ball. The 1-0 count. And the count now, 1-1. And with the 1-1 count, thrown over to second, and that'll be out number 1 for Alabama State. Now out number 2.
Now batting, number 20, Elizabeth Williams.
And up to bat, number 20, Elizabeth Williams. And the first pitch is called ball. The 1-0. Now count 2-0. The 2-0. Outside, now 3-0. The 3-0. Walks Williams to first.
Now batting, number 14, Jada Gardner.
And now up to bat, number 14, Jada Gardner.
Now running at first base, number 25, Janiyah Boykin.
And now coming in for Alabama State, Janiyah Boykin on the pinch run. First pitch is called strike. And fouled back. Strike two. The 0-2. Outside and safe at second is Boykin. One and two the count. The 1-2 is fouled back near the third baseman. Count still 1 and 2. And here we go. Here comes the steal from second. And that will bring in the final score for Boykin. Final score in the final game of the HBCU Celebration Classic. Alabama State wins 9-8 in the bottom of the 7th inning. Again, your final score, Alabama State 9, Southern 8. Joseph Moore signing off from the HBCU Celebration Classic.